the half-whole diminished scale, one of the most important scales in jazz. In this short tutorial, I'll go over ways to practice the scale, its theory, its application, and a multitude of approaches that will allow you to create your own interesting vocabulary, voicings, and melodic patterns. Let's jump right in. First, I'm going to show you a method of thinking of the diminished scale that's a little bit unique. We think about it harmonically first. That is, as a C7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, with the tensions on top, flat 9, sharp 9, sharp 11, and 13. The reason this is a good method is to immediately understand how the scale functions harmonically. It works on a dominant 7 chord with a flat 9 or sharp 9 or sharp 11 or 13, or all or any combination of those tensions. The upper structure tensions on this chord create an E flat half diminished 7th chord or an F sharp minor 6 chord, which is the same 4 notes in inversion. Next, I like to think about all the 7th chords and common chords that are found inside the diminished scale. We have dominant 7th chords, C7, E flat 7, F sharp 7, A7, and then back to C7. These are ascending or descending by minor third or by tritone. Secondly, we have minor 7th chords. C minor 7, E flat minor 7, F sharp minor 7, A minor 7, back to C minor 7. Again, these can move by minor 7 or tritone within the scale. Next we have half diminished 7th chords. C half diminished, E flat half diminished, F sharp half diminished, A half diminished. Also, these can move up and down by minor thirds or tritones. Next we have major 6 chords. C major 6, E flat major 6, F sharp major 6, A major 6. We also have minor 6 chords. C minor 6 is the same as A half diminished in inversion. C minor 6, E flat minor 6, F sharp minor 6, A minor 6. Lastly, we have our diminished 7th chords, C diminished, E flat diminished, F sharp diminished, A diminished. These are all the same 4 notes in different inversions. We also have C sharp diminished, E diminished, G diminished, and B flat diminished. These are the same 4 notes in different inversions as well. The fact that there are 2 diminished 7th chords a half step apart within the scale is why some people in arranging call this a double diminished sound. For instance, C sharp diminished with a C diminished on top. Very nice voicing. One of the reasons it's great to understand the different hidden 7th chords and 6th chords within the scale is that it allows you to create a multitude of patterns simply by taking these 4-note structures and moving them up and down by minor third or tritone. For instance, if we take the 7th chord, C7, and we create a pattern with that, let's say, and then we just move that pattern down by minor thirds, we have an interesting sounding melody. Each of those 4-note structures are just simply a 7th chord, and we're moving it by minor thirds, and the movement gives it a lot more interest to our ear. As I've said in the past, any 4-note structure can be played 96 different ways. If you visit my blog, you can look at the video that explains that. Another idea would be using the minor 7th sound. If we take a simple minor 7 idea, so this would be C minor 7, minor third, root, 5th, flat 7, 1, and we move that by minor thirds to A minor, to F sharp minor, to E flat minor, back to C minor. And we have an interesting pattern there. And this works with any of these hidden 7th chords or 6th chords within the scale. If we used a minor 6 sound, we could come up with a simple idea and move that down from C minor 6 to A minor 6 to F sharp minor 6 to E flat minor 6. And just because it's moving through the scale, this simple idea sounds interesting. Next, I'd like to talk about some triadic concepts. Triads are also found in the diminished scale. Obviously, since we have 7th chords and 6th chords, we have triads. First, we'll look at the major triads in the scale. We have our C major triad, E flat, F sharp, and A. Just using the triads alone can create great diminished patterns or melodic ideas. For instance, if we play the C major triad, this is in second inversion, 3, 1, 5, and then we go to A, F sharp, E flat. So very interesting sound with just the triads. We could try a different pattern using the same idea. We could come up with different patterns just using those triads. Here's another one, C, basically any pattern you can come up with using the triads, you can move them up or down by minor third or tritone. C, A, F sharp, E flat, C. You can also come up with some interesting triad pairs using major triads or minor triads a tritone apart. For instance, C and F sharp, or A and E flat. And of course, by mixing and matching the direction of the triads, you can come up with a lot of interesting material using those triad pairs. C, F sharp, C, F sharp, C, F sharp, C, E flat, A, E flat, A, E flat, A, E flat, A. This also works with the minor triads, C minor, F sharp minor, 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 or A minor and E flat minor, E flat, A minor, E flat, A minor, E flat, A minor, E flat. You can also mix and match major triads and minor triads. For instance, C minor and F sharp major, or E flat major and A minor. You can also combine the triad pairs into a scale, creating a hexatonic scale or 6-note scale within the octatonic scale or diminished scale. That would be combining C and F sharp into a scale. You can do the same thing with E flat and A major triads, or the minor triads. The PDFs in this tutorial are all free on my blog at mattotto.org, so just head over there and you can download them. Next thing I'd like to cover are tetrads, or 4-note structures that aren't 7th chords or 6th chords. First we have the triad adding the flat 9. Major triad add flat 9. So in this case, a C triad with its flat 9, the D flat or C sharp. Again, there's 96 melodies you can create with these 4 notes, and they all sound pretty interesting. And we can move this structure up by minor thirds. So E flat, add flat 9. F sharp, add flat 9. A, add flat 9. Next, we'll look at the triad adding the sharp 9. C, adding sharp 9, E flat or D sharp. We can move that up by minor thirds. E flat, add sharp 9. We can move that by minor third, we have F sharp, add sharp 9. And then we have A, add sharp 9. Another great sound is the triad adding sharp 11, C adding the F sharp, E flat, add sharp 11, F sharp, add sharp 11, and A, add sharp 11. You can also use minor triads, C minor adding sharp 11, E flat, add sharp 11, or F sharp, add sharp 11. And A, add sharp 11. You could also add the flat 9 to the minor triad. C minor with D flat, E flat minor with E, F sharp minor with G, A minor with B flat. The reason it's also important to learn all these tetrads within the diminished scale is so that you can create even more interesting content just by moving the simple structures by minor third or tritone. For instance, major triad with flat 9, just C with flat 9, E flat with flat 9, F sharp with flat 9, A with flat 9, or with sharp 9. Sharp 9, 1, 5, 3. Sharp 9, 1, 5, 3. Sharp 9. Or sharp 11. C, triad with sharp 11 on top. E flat with sharp 11 on top. F sharp with sharp 11 on top, A with sharp 11 on top. There's just an infinite amount of great ideas that can come from these concepts. You can use them as voicings, you can use them as patterns or melodies. For voicings, you can take the structure and put it in different inversions. This would be C triad, add flat 9. We've got the flat 9 in the bass, and then a first inversion C triad. And then I could go E flat over E. I could go F sharp over G. And I could go A over B flat. C triad in second inversion with this F sharp on top. So C add sharp 11. E flat, add sharp 11. F sharp, add sharp 11. A, add sharp 11. All these melodies, I could create a melody, or I can use it as a voicing. Another voicing might be C triad in first inversion, sharp 9 on top, so C add sharp 9, and then moving that to E flat add sharp 9, F sharp add sharp 9, A add sharp 9, back to C. So as you can see, these concepts are a great way to both create melodic and harmonic content, simply by understanding all the hidden structures within the diminished scale. We also have fourths and fifths inside the diminished scale. From C to G, from the C triad, the root and the fifth. From E flat to B flat, from the E flat triad. From F sharp to C sharp, from the F sharp triad. And from A to E. When we play these in inversion, for instance, the fifth to the root of C, now we have a fourth. So we have fourths and fifths. So there's a lot of patterns that you can use. You've probably heard that, kind of a Woody Shaw idea. C, A, F sharp, E flat, back to C. You can also use the concept to just kind of improvise basically improvising between these 4 sets of fifths. So maybe by having a thorough understanding of the 7th chords, the tetrads, the triads, and the diads inside of the diminished scale, you'll begin to have a solid foundation for improvising from the scale. You'll also be able to use the scale to create your own ideas, patterns, melodies, voicings, and possibly compositions. This is Matt Otto. Thanks for listening. You can visit my blog at mattotto.org and download all these PDFs for free. See you on the next one.